All right, so today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not breaking down a news story or some scientific concept. We're deconstructing a feeling. We're going to take this piece of dark, atmospheric art and use its words as a kind of blueprint to see how real horror is built, not with cheap jump scares, but with that quiet, creeping dread. So let's start the descent, shall we?
Yeah, just let that one sit for a second. If I wake, I die inside. 4 little words that flip everything we think we know about safety completely on its head. Waking life is the danger. The dream is the only safe place. This right here, this is our entry point, and it's the central puzzle we're here to unravel.
Okay, so here we go, officially stepping into the nightmare. But our goal isn't just to get scared. Nope, we're here to reverse engineer this thing. We're going to pull out the architectural plans and see exactly how this terrifying structure was built piece by piece.
And this is really the big question, isn't it? How does an artist create this deep, gut-level feeling of fear with just a handful of broken sentences? Forget special effects or crazy monsters. How is it even possible? Well, let's start peeling back the first layer. You know, any truly effective nightmare always starts by making you feel trapped. And the best way to do that is to make you doubt your own senses. So this first part of the blueprint is all about building a sensory prison, a place where you just can't trust what you see, hear, or feel anymore.
So the first attack is on your hearing. It all kicks off with a sound that has no logical source, which immediately puts your brain on high alert. You get that creepy feeling of an unseen presence, a threat that's somehow everywhere and nowhere all at once.
And wow, this line just nails that feeling, doesn't it? Breathing is such an intimate, personal sound. To hear it when no one is there, that is just deeply unsettling. The horror isn't some loud noise. It's the quiet, impossible presence right there beside you.
Okay, but here's where it really ramps up. Notice the escalation? We've gone from a sound without a body to a touch without a body. The threat isn't just in the room with you anymore. Now it's physically on you. Your personal space has been completely violated.
This line is just, man, it's chilling. And the weird misspelling of stroke as straw almost adds to the disorientation. It suggests a touch that's both delicate and just wrong. On a smile that's frozen, probably in pure terror. It's a total violation by something you can't even see.
So with the senses in total chaos, the artist now locks the body down. This creates that classic awful feeling of sleep paralysis, a state of absolute vulnerability. Your mind is wide awake and terrified, but your body is completely helpless.
And there it is, the ultimate expression of that helplessness. That primal, animal urge to scream for help is just gone. It's completely stifled. The narrator is sealed inside their own silent body. The sensory prison is finished. The foundation of the nightmare is set.
With the body trapped, the nightmare now goes even deeper. This isn't just about external threats anymore. This is an internal attack. This second layer of the blueprint is all about dismantling the narrator's very sense of who they are.
So look at this. It's basically a tug of war for existence itself. On one side, you've got the narrator, desperately trying to prove they're real, scratching a name on the wall, stating, "I am still breathing." These are primal ways of saying, "I am here." But on the other side, the nightmare pushes back, demanding its own name be spoken, asserting control, and even blurring the lines to make you question everything.
This conflict creates what we can call a paradoxical state. The mind gets trapped between two opposing realities that shouldn't exist at the same time. It's that terrifying dream logic, you know, where you're fully aware of how absurd everything is, but you're completely unable to escape it.
This line is the absolute heart of the entire piece. It perfectly captures that paradoxical state. A declaration of being wide awake and safe is immediately followed by a desperate plea, "Don't wake me." Why? Because, as we saw from the very beginning, waking up is death. The only safe place is inside the nightmare. Logic has completely collapsed.
So what happens when you can't fight and you can't escape? This final layer of the blueprint is probably the most disturbing. It shows the moment the narrator stops resisting the horror and begins to identify with it. A terrifying shift from victim to something else.
It starts with this moment of dreadful clarity. It's like looking in a mirror and not recognizing the person staring back. The narrator finally understands and names their reality for the first time. This is my nightmare. It's just a statement of fact, a terrifying realization of their new existence.
But then, the feeling starts to shift. The phrase, "this is my nightmare," is no longer just a sad admission. That little word, my, starts to get heavier, more powerful. It's no longer just describing a situation. It's starting to sound like a claim of control.
And here, the transformation is complete. This is no longer the voice of a victim. This is someone powerful, chilling, and almost triumphant. They haven't escaped the nightmare. They have become the nightmare. The phrase, "this is my nightmare," is now a declaration of ownership.
So we've descended through all the layers of this prison and witnessed a complete psychological transformation. What does this deconstruction really teach us about the art of crafting genuine, atmospheric fear?
Well, here it is, the blueprint laid bare. It's a 4-step process. Step 1. Isolate the senses, trapping the body in a reality you can't trust. Step 2. Attack the identity, eroding the very concept of self. Step 3. Introduce paradox, breaking logic and trapping the mind. And the final, terrifying step. Force acceptance, transforming the victim's fear into a chilling declaration of ownership.
Ultimately, what this all shows is the incredible power of less is more. The terror here isn't in what's described, but in what's left out. By using fragmented text and focusing on our most basic vulnerabilities, the fear of the unseen, the loss of self, the breakdown of logic, the artist creates a space for our own minds to fill in the blanks. And that is always far more terrifying than anything they could explicitly show us. And so we end here, with the final haunting implication of the piece. The narrator found a strange kind of power, not by defeating their fear, but by claiming it as their own. It leaves us with a provocative question to think about long after this is over. In the face of our own nightmares, what happens when you stop running?